Premier League delivering yet again. What a game for a neutral. What a win for your former club.
Oh, it was magnificent, Steve. It really was. And it was a real good game plan that they put together. They defended for their lives, actually. The midfield pressed so hard right through 90 minutes plus. The back five defended everything that came into the box. Yes, there was a bit of creation from City. There always is. But not as many, I think Spurs limited those chances. But no, it was a really good performance in the sense that they broke from there and they counter-attacked and they looked dangerous. I mean, City, because they had possession of the ball, leave their space, the space is behind there. And Spurs, I think, had this complete week to work at. You hear Sonny and Kane saying that they worked at things during the training. And I think it was about, getting in behind, making runners, Kane coming off deep and runners going in behind. And there was times where 3 or 4 or 5 times in the game where you thought, actually, they're going to get in again. So, they knew what they were doing today. They were excellent.
Did your former club deserve anything from that, do you think?
I think they probably thought they did when they got that late equaliser. Maybe me and Glenn were arguing about being a penalty or being not a penalty. I think it was the right decision. We'd give VR a bit of stick, but I think it was a penalty. And then I felt at that stage a draw probably was a fair result. But I didn't see Tottenham breaking one more time and getting the late winner. But they'll go back to the drawing board. Of course, now Man City. As a guy asking the questions, they all lose games. So it's how do the champions respond now? How do they bounce back from this? And they go to Everton next week, and they have to go back and hopefully beat Everton next week to get back on track.
Let us go back to the start of the game because there's so much to cram in when we look back on that. Dejan Kulusevski, we spoke to him live at the end of the game. His first start in the Premier League, his second touch of the game, Glenn.
This is an example of Kane dropping in, Son getting in behind. Look at the spaces in behind. And Son does really well here. He's not even thought about scoring himself. He's had a little look, and Kulusevski, look, he's up with the play. And he takes the ball, he takes it so calmly. There's a beautiful ball. First time, Diaz tries to step up and play offside. You take a risk if someone's playing first time because you can't get the timing right. And there's Kulusevski through the legs of, I think it's Cancelo. And at the end of the day, look, he's delighted. That's his second touch of the game.
The first was the kick-off.
I think he kicked off and he kept his head. A lot of players might have looked to take 2 touches, or they might have tried to do something intricate, but he just stuffed it through the legs of the defender. And it was a magic way for Tottenham to start. And, there's something, we said before the game, there's something there with Tottenham and Manchester City. It has been for even back in my day. We beat them in the FA Cup final in '81. There's always been something that Spurs always fancy their chances against City.
They got a helping hand, City getting level. What did Hugo Lloris particularly do wrong with this era from a goalkeeper?
Well, we spoke about it at half times, but I think the only thing we can say in any sort of defence, De Bruyne makes a brilliant run from the edge of the box, and the only thing you could say in Hugo's defence is he just took his eye off the ball that split second. Because as a goalkeeper, you've got your eye on the ball, Stephen, and sometimes something runs across your eye line like De Bruyne. I know he doesn't touch the ball, and I know Hugo will look back at it tomorrow thinking, I have to do better. But just that split second with De Bruyne's run, I think he just took his eye off the ball, and it's an easy finish in the end for Gundogan, to sweep it home.
Yeah, and we all said that City started the first half slowly, and would they do the second half? And again, it turned into the Harry Kane show. I know he had one ruled out with offside, but how good was his finish for 2-1, Glenn?
Well, it was excellent all day. Whether he was coming in deep again like this, laying balls in, this one just doesn't quite make it. It's poor defending actually from City, no communication. But what he does, look, he comes from deep. If you're going to drop in and be a sort of midfield player and hit passes, what you've got to do is then arrive in the penalty area. Don't stand and admire your pass. So what he does, look at the ground that he has to make up. So the ball's kept there. They're trying to get organised, but he's got the run on them. No one picks him up. Look, he's pointing, and Son delivers right on the money. And what a finish that is. It's a half volley going across your body. And if we look at it really closely, he just opens his ankle up. And he doesn't have to get the power on the ball and puts it in the top corner. It's a wonderful goal. It really
for Edison at that point, it could have been 3-1.
Yeah, I felt that watching the game live, Steve, this could be a turning point for Man City. It was such a big save, and I suppose we talked how well Harry Kane played today, and he didn't do a lot wrong, Glenn, did he? It was a fantastic one-on-one situation, but you see Edison, how quick he is off his line, super fast off his line, makes himself so big, and he spreads out that big left foot and gets a fantastic save. And I felt, as we watched the game live, this could be a turning point, because City needed to kick up the backside, and I thought that was going to be the turning point.
It's an amazing save, because he's actually, if you look at it, it's not luck. It hasn't just hit him. He's actually he's extended his leg and put his leg out and read him and blocked it. It's a fabulous save.
Talking of fabulous saves, Hugo Lloris made an error for the first goal. What about this save at 2-1?
Well, it sums up the goalkeeper's life. You know, you're in the first half, you're doing what are you doing that, and then in the second half, this is a phenomenal save. And we talk about Harry Kane, but this is a match-winning save, Steve. This is a brilliant save. He moves his feet super fast, and then takes a big, strong, takes a quick step to the left, and then that left one now powers off his left foot, and the power off his left leg gets the strong hand. It's the legs. I know people say his hand made the save, and rightly so, but it's the power from his legs that enables him to make that save. It's a brilliant, brilliant save.
So the penalty debate can ensue. Go on, you go first.
Well, when I seen it live, I thought it was a penalty. I thought his hand was not a natural position. It's above his head, and Glenn mentioned maybe he's protecting his face. But if I'm a centre half and I'm the goalkeeper, I'm saying, take it in the face. Don't put your hand there. Take it in the face and block it. That's not natural, Glenn. I don't care what you say in a minute. That's not a natural position for your hand. I think that's the right decision.
If you're going to dive to your feet like that to try and block, where is your natural position? In the end, the contact of the ball is in front of his face. All right, well, he's looking at it now. The good thing is they've made the referee go across and have a look. I like that. Let him make the decision. But some weeks I think referees will give that. Others times they won't. I just feel that, you know, we should learn and go back to sort of in the penalty area for penalties. If it's a deliberate handball, I think everyone would understand then. For deliberate handball, it's a penalty. Things like that, I'm not sure. I think we're making things so much more difficult. Overall in football, not just because of that. In the laws of the game, that was probably a penalty, yeah. But next week, it might not be. But I think he didn't get booked, so no one thought it was a deliberate handball, yet it was a penalty. So there's a little discretion between the rules there, in my opinion, and the laws of the game and what actually is needed and what is done. So I think we can clear that up a little bit clearer.
Okay, it was fantastically dispatched. Be honest, who did you fancy to go and win the game at that stage?
Well, I thought that was an equaliser for I thought it was a 2-2.
You couldn't see a winner coming because it was 7 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, but I did think it was 92nd minute. You know, City in a sense have got away with it because they got a late equaliser, and yes, they probably pushed to get a Thursday, but I didn't see Tottenham breaking away and getting a third goal. I thought 2-2 on the course of the run of play, on the course of chances was a fair result. But again,
this was 2 minutes 33 after the penalty.
Yeah, again, we look at Kyle Walker, in the back post. It's a brilliant ball in, but I think he's got to go and head the ball, or at least get his arm across, block the run from Kane, and not let him head it. You know, he's kind of half-heartedly gone to the ball. But again, we talk about a number 9 in the box. Where's his best chance of scoring? Between the two posts. He's in there. Fantastic movement from the centre forward, and it's a brilliant header. But if I was looking from a defensive point of view, I think Kyle Walker has to be stronger, has to go and attack the ball, or block Kane from getting it.
For me, he's got to do his homework quicker. He's got to pin Kane. So he's got to be up against him, putting his arm across his chest, pinning him, and then Harry doesn't get a free header like he did there and gets in front of him. But it was ironic, wasn't it? Look at that for a celebration.
I still think you ran quicker around the studio than Antonio.
I certainly didn't jump as I. No. It was a fantastic game of football. It had absolutely everything. It really did. And City. I'm with Shay. I think at 2-2, you see City. All the players, they went and got the ball from the penalty, and they're all running back to the halfway line, putting the ball on the halfway line spot, and going, "We can still win this. We can still win this." Well, it went the other way, and Spurs went and won it.
They did. 3 points for Tottenham and their manager, Antonio Conte.
Well, Antonio, we all saw your emotion when the winning goal went in. Can you just tell us the roller coaster of emotions you went through during that on the touchline, and then the joy you felt when you knew your team had won it?
Yeah, and it was an emotional game, for sure. It was an exciting game. Good game, and we played a good game. We followed a plan, and I spoke with you before, the game, and I said that for sure Manchester City will keep the possession ball for 65-70 minutes in the game, and we have to be good and tactically. In a defensive way, but at the same time, when we were defending, the first thought was the way to attack, and I think that we did this, and we created chances to score other goals against a fantastic team, a wonderful team.
He had his plan that he worked on all week, Glenn, but when you've got Harry Kane playing like that today, how crucial is that in executing the plan?
Well, it is, because you know you can play the ball into him, And you know, if he comes off and he doesn't get marked, he's got the capabilities of doing things like that. And I think that's what the game plan was, to defend. It's a lovely finish. It really is. A cool head from Son. But I think when it's Harry, now this is what I said earlier. It's all right, Harry dropping into midfield, but it's horrible if he doesn't get in the box enough. But he's doing both jobs. He's almost playing like a number 10 and a number 9 today. And that's how good he is. Here he is. He just drifts off the back of the defender. As we say, Walker doesn't get across, makes it easy for him, but he's in there. And he nearly had his hat-trick today. He could have had a hat-trick. But I think the game plan, when you're defending that deep, and Tottenham really did it well, is when they won possession of the ball, the first ball went forward. Whether it was one over the top or whether it was into a striker, Kane, it went forward, and then it gave them a base to get some bodies forward from defending. So when you defend that deep against City, it's very hard if you keep giving the ball away and it's coming back. Or you go square and square again, that gives them a chance to press you. Spurs were really good in the defending, but then the first pass, even if it was a short one, the midfield went forward. It went forward to Kane, it went forward to Son. And I think that's the tactic what Conte asked his players to do. As a manager, you ask them to do that. Sometimes it don't work. It goes in one ear and goes out the other. Today, they implemented it absolutely spot on.
And how impressive was it to implement it? Because we've seen in the last 16 games, teams try, and only Southampton take any points at all from City.
I think the first goal was a perfect example of the game plan. Kane's dropped in deep, and Son knows Kane doesn't even have to look. Son took off, and he was on his way as the ball went to Kane's foot, flicked it around the back, and the spaces in behind the Man City back four because they like to press so high. And I think, as you say, they've got the whole week to build on it, the whole world to work on it. Man City were Sporting Lisbon during the week, travelling back, probably only prepared maybe yesterday, probably really tactically. You know, he's had a less time to prepare for the game, but I don't know, what can you say? Tottenham, we talked about Harry Kane and some 150 million Man City prepared to pay for them, and I think on today's performance, you think maybe he struggled the first half of the season, but today he was the reason why you'd pay 150 million. That's maybe the player that they're lacking, I think. Even at times today, the second half of the game, me and Glenn off air were saying they're trying to get the perfect goal, Man City, perfect pass or the perfect cross in the box, and sometimes just putting the ball in the box. And I mentioned number 9 like Harry Kane, in between the posts, he's going to cause problems and score goals.
The thing is, at Tottenham, as I've said, he's having to play almost like a 10, come deep, and do a number 9 job as well. If he was in a sky blue shirt, he hasn't got to come. They've got enough of them in midfield. All he's got to do is finish off, end of the jigsaw, the last piece of the jigsaw, put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, Pep said yesterday they tried 4 times to get him in the summer. What about City's next response? They have got a clear week.
Yeah, it's just getting the balance now, Steve. I think, right, getting obviously recovery because they had the midweek busy period just gone through. Get the recovery right, get the players back on it. I was surprised that Mahrez didn't start today. Anyway, you get critical when a team loses, and Pep Guardiola is a fantastic manager. But, you know, for me, the last few weeks, Mahrez has probably been their star player, and he didn't start today for whatever reason. Now he's got the full week to prepare for Everton, and Everton are fighting for their lives at the bottom of the league as well. They're in a relegation scrap as well, so it won't be easy going to Goodison Park next week. But I think they'll have to, dust themselves down next couple of days and prepare for Everton.